is Javier from Revuelta.io, and in this video we are going to create a Google Ads campaign for a small business for a local business. So we are going to create a search campaign. In this place we have an account with an empty campaign, so we have to start a new campaign here or just in this button. Then we can charge our campaign here, or we can add a new campaign. In this case we are creating a new campaign, and then we have to choose our objective. In this case we are going to create a campaign without goals, but the most usual is to create a campaign for leads or for sales, because it's a search campaign. If we are talking about other campaign, maybe we can get some website traffic or we get a product and brand consideration. But in this case, I think we are going to create without goals, because it's more easy, because we have not created the conversion goal. We are going to select the search campaign, and we have no active any campaign, so we are not interested in this moment for the conversion tracking. But it's important, if you are going to create a campaign, it's very important to create your conversion goal, because it's going to help Google to understand your clients and the users you would like to go through to your website. In this point, we have to select between website visits, phone calls, or app downloads. In this case, we are going to select website visits. My website is revuelta.io, and we are going to create a campaign like if we are a restaurant design studio. But my website is not about that, but I think it's a very useful example. Here you have restaurant design as the name. Okay, here Google Ads suggests you that you use Search Network and the Display Network, or both of them, in your search campaign. This is not the best option, because when you have a good search campaign, it's not good for your display campaign, or if you have a display campaign, it's not good for your search campaign. So the best option is just to get the search network. Here you have to select if when you are going to start the campaign and when you are finished. The usual way is just start the campaign but without the finish date. But you can choose, if you have a end date, you can set that. Here we are not to create a dynamic search ad or our ad schedule, but the ad schedule could be fine if you have a business where you would like to work just in the weekdays or just in weekends, etc. Okay, here we have to select our territory. In this case, I'm going to do like a local campaign, like if we were working in London, for example. So we are going to select London, London, UK. Okay, here we select the London, UK city, and you can, for example, choose if you would like to select a zone that you are not you would like to exclude. You can select as well. But in this case, we are going to work with whole London. Here you have the target and exclude cases. In this case, default selection is present or interest in London, but I think the best option, if you would like to create a local campaign where you are a local business, maybe could be the presence. But for example, if we are a restaurant, maybe the people is going to do some tourist trip, so maybe it's better presence or interest target. But we are not going to choose present or interest in the case of the restaurant design services. Okay, here the language is English. In some case, you can choose other languages, but in this case, we are going to work just with English. And you can work with audience segment, but we are not in this moment. We don't know if we have an audience that could fit with this campaign. So we start without an audience close. So you have to select your keywords, and then after you have some audience that Google thinks that you would like, maybe you can add them in your campaign. Here we have the budget. I'm going to choose €1 for example. This is not, it's just an advice from Google that you would like to work with €10, but we are just doing an example. Okay, you have some chances to create your bidding option. The best one always is the conversion value, but you have to you need data for your conversion value. Then second best option is the conversions, but we have not the tracking, the conversion track done. So in this case, we are going to choose clicks. But if you have your conversion track done, maybe you can select the clicks first to increase your traffic first, and when you have some conversion, you can change your bidding to conversions. In clicks, for example, or conversion, or in your conversion value bidding, you can select maximum cost. But if you have no idea of your CPC, maybe the best option at the first moment is just no select maximum cost. The ad rotation is optimized, so we have no to select anyone. The ad extension should be very important because it attracts more traffic. You can do some new site links. In this case, I'm not going to do them, but they are important, the site links, because your slot is bigger than the rest if you have site links, callouts, and call extensions. And as well, they increase your quality, okay, in order to be the first in the when you are bidding. The normal situation, you create all the ad extension that you can. So here we have the ad group name. In this case, we have just one ad group, but if you, for example, do one for exact match or broad match, well, so you can do one for exact keywords and another for the broad keywords. Google understand that I have in this website these keywords, and it's quite well, but in this case we are not interested in these keywords, and I have a list of keywords here that I'm going to work with them. Okay, if you have no idea of which keywords and you have enough budget to have the enough traffic to get all the traffic that you would like, maybe broad is the best option. If you have a budget very limited, maybe the best option is the exact phrase match. Okay. In this case, maybe if we are starting and we don't know which keywords are going to be better, maybe in this case the best option is broad. So we are going to keep them broad match. Okay. Here we are not going to do anything else. I think in this option you have here the different match examples, but for example, when you have two words in your keyword, the chances of your keyword is more approach of you are looking for is better than if you have just one word in your keyword. If you have three, are much better than two, for example. So here we have, in most of case, more three or more words. So maybe Google doesn't maybe Google is going to filter well. So we are going to keep them broad. And then here we have the ads to create our ads. In nowadays, Google use the adapt ads, so we are going to create them because in a few months they are going to be the unique kind of ads that we can do. So first at final URL is where the user are going to finish. So it's going to finish in our website. Display path, the best option is to use something that the user is going to think about is this service. In this case, we are going to use restaurant design. with our keywords, Google thinks about which headlines we could do. So we are going to use one of them that I like is the keyword insertion, that is one keyword that fit with our keywords. If the user use, for example, restaurant design in London, our ad is going to have that phrase. So we are going to use that, and the default text is going to be design, restaurant design. And then we can work with this. And our description is going to be you can put more headline and more description is better because you have more chances to put a headline that the user would like. So my recommendation is at least 5 headlines and 3 description, and then continuously change it and improve them. So we have this ad created. We have to save and continue this campaign. And here we have our campaign. Have just one advice that we have a budget very low, but it's just for the example, and in just some minutes you can do your campaign for your local business. If you have any question, you can contact with me and we can see how to do your campaign. Thank you. Bye bye.